Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I know I reviewed this film once a long time ago, but because it had a trailer on it, I didn't trust it, so I decided to review it again. And also, it's not really a horror film, it's more of a thriller. Maybe you'd call it an action thriller, but more of a thriller. But I still wanted to talk about this film because it's a film that's underrated, and it's my channel, so. Uh, Highwaymen. And Highwaymen actually got a chance to see at the theater, and unfortunately the film didn't do anything, didn't make any money. I don't know why they scheduled it release. It says right here, February 13, 2004. I forgot that was released around that time. Damn. I don't know why they did that. It's not really a good release date for a thriller, I would think, but what do I know? I know they're doing Die Hard 5 around that time as well, so we'll see. But, again, it's not a horror film, it's more of a thriller. But another reason is because it's directed by Robert Harmon, who did the original The Hitcher, which I did that review. That review's still up. I love I love Robert Harmon's The Hitcher, the original one, not the remake. The remake sucks, in my opinion. But oh, as you can see there from the director of The Hitcher. But Highwaymen, what I liked about this film is just a very straightforward story that kind of takes away all the fat that you would have in other movies, kind of strips it down to the bare minimum, and it's just very straightforward, cat and mouse, uh, at times suspenseful, very well directed, good looking thriller. Now, Highwaymen, like Jim Caviezel, I think he did a really great job here. Basically, his wife is killed by this serial killer who runs women down with his car. The car being a 1972 Cadillac Eldorado. And years before, like I said, his wife is killed, and Jim Caviezel actually went after the guy and fucked the guy up, and unfortunately, his character got jail time, which that's the fucked up thing, while that person is now still out and about, but now he's kind of more robotic than man. When I mean robotic, I don't mean like Terminator. I mean uh, like neck braces and sort of stuff like to help his legs walk, and like steel to help him, like a controller that opens the car door. And I don't know, they made for an intriguing, I guess you'd call it killer, intriguing. That wasn't just a guy driving around, that he's almost part of the car, so to speak. And the bad guy is played by Colm Feore, who I think most people remember this guy from. He's been in quite a few stuff. He was in Face Off. He was in Iron Needle 2. Uh, Critical Care. Oh, he played. I think he played the. I think he played the bad guy in Storm of the Century. I think that's where most people remember him from. Paycheck, Exorcism of Emily Rose. Oh, he was in Thor. Forgot about that. He's been in a lot of films. But basically, when Jim Caviezel gets out of jail, he starts hunting for this guy who's still killing women. And Jim Caviezel is on a mission not only to avenge the death of his wife, but to stop this guy from killing women by hit and run, that kind of stuff. And long story short, Rhona Mitra gets in there because she's the newest victim, and you have a really well done scene and sort of a tunnel where the killer sort of sets up I would say a little bit of a trap. Really well done. Car crashes, practical. I didn't see any usage of CGI in this at all. Uh, and yeah, I got to see this in the theater, and I thought it was a good time because it was fast paced. The film, without the end credits, is probably an hour and 15 minutes, maybe even less. I mean, it's not that long of a film at all. You watch it and boom, it's done. I thought the pacing was fine. But yeah, she's the newest victim, and he attempts to kill her. I know he kills someone else, but she survived. She hid, and now she's sort of in counseling, and Jim Caviezel finds her kind of uses her as bait, but at the same time he's very sympathetic to her needs. And I think there's a certain amount of time, well, this is my opinion, that we're not sure if we should trust Jim Caviezel a little bit or not. Like, is this guy really using her as bait? Does he even care about her? But ultimately, of course, you find out that he does. Um, and you get the idea. It's not much of a we fall in love. It's more of a friendship sort of thing. They begin to bond in a friendship sort of way. It's not like they're heavily macking out and stuff. Unless my mind wandered. But what I liked about the film, not only is the straightforwardness, the running time, because it went at a fast pace, kind of like any fat was kind of stripped out. The bits of action sequences that happen, I thought were very well done, well efficient, and filmed. For instance, there's a sequence where she's going home with someone, and boom, gets a big fucking crash. And one thing leads to another, like she's upside down, still in the vehicle, and the killer sort of gets the vehicle and is sort of pulling it, and she's trying to get out, and then there's Jim Caviezel going in his car trying to save her, and like the killer is literally, this car is being pulled that's upside down, and she's trying to get out, and Jim Caviezel's trying to reach her, and she's trying to get to the other vehicle. It looks all done practically, and I thought it was whoever did the stunt work, and it was well filmed. That's what I mean. That kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, it's a low budget film. It's a film not many people talk about, and I thought it was well filmed. Uh, you know, if you see the original The Hitcher, you know the guy knows how to do car stunts and little bits of action sequences with that, with the chasing and The Hitcher. Another thing is, like The Hitcher, the desert locations, very well filmed. You know, whether you want to attribute that to the director or the cinematographer, Rennie Cray, they did a really great job filming it. It looks great. I just want to check something real quick. Okay. I was seeing if there's the same cinematographer who was on The Hitcher. But it's a good looking film as well. I think, you know, the way the director and such used the spacage of the desert, you feel that you're really alone. It's a good looking movie. I thought the score by Mark Isham did his job well. I thought it was an efficient little thriller with a wonderful performance by Jim Caviezel. Rhona Mitra does okay to take her or leave her, but you know she does alright. She's not bad. You also have a character, Frankie Faison. I think most people remember him from Silence of the Lambs. He's the black guy in Silence of the Lambs that doesn't die. Uh, but I think most people remember him from Silence of the Lambs as the character Barney. Yeah, he was in Hannibal and Red Dragon. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Red Dragon. Oh yeah, he was in Maximum Overdrive. I remember his little part in Maximum Overdrive. That's right. He plays a sort of a guy who I don't know, he did sort of maybe he's not really the most happy with his job, because he's just at least no one really respects his job. He's a state traffic investigator, and people are like, you know, no, I don't carry, you know, he's not really a guy who's a man of action, and he doesn't know what's going on. He thinks maybe Jim Caviezel is the guy behind this, but he's not quite sure. Uh, but it works out. And I know some people have problems with this character, especially maybe the last scenes, thinking that's a little bit too humorous, a little bit too out of the blue. But I thought it worked, and I actually grew to like his character. Because he's that black guy who's a comic relief, and he doesn't die. I know I spoiled it, but sometimes I get happy when that happens, because it could be rare. But if I'm being sort of hazy in the review, this is a film. Sometimes redoing these reviews, I want people to check these films out so that I don't give away every single plot point. This is a film that not many people know about. I thought, if you don't like it, that's fine, but I thought it was fast-paced, an hour and 15 or so minutes. Has some pretty decent action sequences. I thought it was an efficient thriller. I like the idea that the serial killer, he got mangled before because of Caviezel, and the killer sort of gives our lead certain, whether you want to call them clues or kind of messing with them a little bit, to the point of actually taking Rhona Mitra and restaging the scene and the day that Caviezel's wife died, because this dress is actually the same dress that Caviezel, well, the same type of dress Caviezel's wife had. So he kind of restages that because the killer really wants to get rid of Caviezel once and for all. And I know some people on, I was reading stuff on IMDb, they said there's like plot holes. If there's plot holes, I didn't realize it, maybe because the film went in a good enough fast pace and I like the characters. I really related to Caviezel, you know, a guy whose wife was killed and he wants revenge. And you know, maybe some people are like, I'm not sure you're using this girl as bait, that's not really good, but I thought they did it well enough that you still like Caviezel. Uh, and I thought the ending was satisfying. Getting the spoilers. Getting the spoilers. I thought the ending, how pretty much Jim DeVito and Rhona Mitra kind of work together to get rid of this guy and the bad guys come up, and I thought it was really pretty damn solid. Uh, Also, there was no sequel bait ending because like the guys like really fucked up, and there's Frankie Faison coming in the stream, and the killer's like, "Who the hell are you?" or something. He's like, "I'm Will Macklin, state traffic investigator," and shoots the guy. I mean, that's a scene that some people are like, I'm not sure, is a little bit too humorous, but I liked it because the killer is such a scumbag that it's like, fuck it, you know, I like Frankie Faison. Yeah, let him do it. I liked his character, and I thought it was kind of like a big fuck you to sequel bait endings. Like, no sequel bait ending for you. Like, just kill the motherfucker. Don't let him live. You know, sort of that mentality. So I liked that last scene, that last bit. But well-directed, efficient thriller, fast-paced. I thought Jim Caviezel was good. Yeah, the plot, is it the most original? No, but hey, you know, it's a killer who goes around hitting, running women. I like the look of the killer, that he's, again, he's got all these, like, metal, because, again, he's pretty much crippled because of what Jim Caviezel did to him when the guy killed his wife. So, you know, he pretty much brace and however you want to call that structure. So, yeah, his neck's fucked up and all that. I like that. I thought it was a nice visual image to it. And it had a good mood to it, good tone to it. It was filmed well by cinematography. I just really like this film. So, I think it's worth a look. And even if you don't like it, it's an hour and 15 minutes. It didn't take much of your time. But I think it's a film that unfortunately didn't do anything, which is really sad. But either way, thanks for watching this review, and stay tuned for more reviews later.